Hi, I am Nate Maingard, your host for the Elexu Live Lounge, and we are in the studio with the Peppermint duo.
Hello.
And we have been laughing uproariously for a few minutes, so we're trying to be very serious now. I feel like I'm failing miserably at that.
Yes, you do.
And thank you. That's you meant to big me up, man. It's like my ego is bruised already.
Sorry.
Say nice things. Say something nice.
Great hat.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I chose it especially for today.
Thank you.
So Peppermint Duo are a London-based duo, which means two people playing music together, in case you weren't aware of that. And I've listened to some of their stuff online. It's pretty awesome. It's rad and enthusiastic and passionate, which is kind of what music is about, unless you're into really sad, depressing emo stuff, which is also cool. Then you probably won't like these guys. So let's get right on with meeting you both. And who are you, first of all, names?
I'm Sophia.
Sophia.
I'm George Marius.
George Marius.
There we go.
You don't have I was waiting for the long Greek title.
No, that's got kind of left behind. Etsiaptsiadis is my last name. If you can spell it, you win. Hug for me. 3 hugs.
How did you guys get into music, each of you separately? Like, what was the moment you were like, this is me, I'm going to be a musician?
I don't know. Well, I didn't used to like music at all. I thought it was a waste of time. And then when I was 14, a friend played me a heavy metal CD. And I was like, oh man, it just does something to you. It did something to me. And when I was 15 and a half, because I used to hear guitar and I thought that was really embarrassing. So when I was 15 and a half, I started playing the guitar, just to play my favorite songs and stuff. And then it started growing to something more. And by the time I was 16, I decided that was the way I heard things, and that was the way I viewed things through music. And so when I was 17, I moved to the UK to study in college, and ever since it's been...
That's a big turnaround from didn't think music was particularly anything, listen to metal.
It was the CD, do you know the Metallica, the CD they did with a Philharmonic Orchestra? They did a CD with a Philharmonic, and it was just amazing.
That sounds, we'll go and listen to that, that sounds incredible.
It was good, yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay.
I kind of, since the age of 9, my parents started taking me to singing lessons. I've been through all types of genres, from classical to musical theatre, and I think after college, I think when I moved to Italy, I kind of found my direction of music, but it just felt right. I didn't stop it. I didn't ask any questions. My parents have sometimes, in the past, maybe over the past few years, because of the social situation, said, "Don't you want to do something else as well?" I'm like, no.
A fallback. What do they call it?
Fallback.
Yeah, there's a fallback,
right?
Man.
Why not be a lawyer?
Yeah, trying to be a nurse. I'm like, I don't like blood. I can't do it.
Don't be a heavy metal artist either then, I think. Cool. That sounds a lovely way to come to music. Interesting. I've never met someone who was didn't like music. Now that's what I do.
Yeah, man. It was metal. It's all the metal.
Metal.
Give metal a chance.
Give metal. Don't give metal.
Well, I started with pop, typical cliche pop. Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey. Yeah.
So, what are you inspired by as far as music goes now? Who inspires what you're currently doing? I mean, I guess that would be who you're covering, other people. I mean, or you must cover songs you love, right? I mean, maybe not, but...
No. Well, not me personally. I think there's some songs that we cover that the actual original version does nothing for me.
Ah, interesting.
But the way we reproduce it, it gives it a different a different feeling.
I've heard that before with some songs where I've heard the pop version be absolutely nice, and then heard it some rad cover. I'm like, wow, now I like it. Yeah. So that's cool. Do you have an example of one that you didn't like as an original?
Believe, Share.
Do you believe in love after love?
That one.
Wow.
Yeah.
They have that voice thing in that, don't they? Where they
retune
or whatever.
She's getting a seizure. It sounds like Lil Wayne on acid.
That's one of them.
That's cool. I would like to hear your retake on that one. So, and yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I always find it hard because I never really did covers before I met Sophia, so I find it really hard to relate to songs. So I suppose if you take them and twist them out musically in a manner that's more appealing to you, then it's easier to get into it. I find qualities I like in all the songs, just because we do them in a way where we like them.
Totally.
So yeah.
And external inspirations around just, I guess, guitarists.
I mean, for me as a guitar player, I love a lot of groove-based stuff. So my approach to playing this is people like John May or Johnny Lang and people like that inspires me. That kind of that kind of clappy slap kind of thing. I quite like it because it gives a percussive element. But we both have our own influences that shape to that kind of sound, that are part of that sound that we have as a duo. So.
Great. You're playing covers at this point and not yet doing original stuff, but how do you feel about the whole sort of commercial world? Do you want to be a commercial success, or do you feel like there's some things you wouldn't be prepared to do to get that success, or like what does that mean to you, the kind of...
Well, obviously, if you're commercial, it's not a bad thing. Like, if somebody likes your sound, it means it's kind of commercial, right?
Yeah. But for the sake, if you're like a pop band where the whole structure is designed to sell albums, it's not necessarily about...
I personally, I don't know. At the moment, what I don't like is that there's this whole thing, you got to know the artist rather than the music. I feel like most of the attention is on who the artist is, what they do in their life, and things like that, which I think is irrelevant. If you like my music, you don't need to like my lifestyle or anything, like where I go to shop or where I don't go to shop. And I think
what
that's
sells, though.
It's almost like nowadays, and it's kind of been like that for the last 10, 15 years, it's more about celebrity than popular musicians. And I think it's, in terms of being commercial, I mean, it depends how you approach it. If being commercial is a byproduct of your art, so you do your art how you hear it, people appeal to it, and then you become commercial, then that's fine. Who wouldn't like that? But I think, music business is a pretty evil place to be in. So if you shape every move to fit that kind of thing, it's not really good.
It's no longer about the music, is it?
No. So, when you're up on stage, and have you played many gigs together yet as a duo?
We've been to a couple of open mics.
Okay. And the reception, have you felt?
Always pretty good. Like, we've always had quite a good feedback.
Yeah.
Basking as well. It's good.
Basking, I'm sure.
When
we're not interrupted by drunk people, then it's really good.
Play Wonderwall!
No. We wish it was like that with the drunk people. One of them decided to rap over all of the pieces, basically.
It's pretty good.
Wow. So, when you're obviously both really committed to the whole music thing, what would you say to anyone, to the up and coming, to people who are thinking about getting into it, be they kids or older people, but if they're like picked up a guitar and gone, or a piano, or started singing and gone, this is it, what do you recommend?
Well, first I recommend not to follow it just because it's something that looks good on TV.
Totally agree with you on that.
It's just people get into it now just because, the image that's portrayed by the media and everything, what the lifestyle is, and it's just the worst reason to get into it. And I think, there's a lot of people out there who do music now that really can't do it, and they just don't have the feeling or anything. So I think if you have the feeling for music, and just follow it. Don't question it. Why say no to anything? If it comes, it comes.
I think you should get into it from a perspective of pure love and not expecting anything on the financial kind of area. And that might come if you appeal to people. What I'd say a practical thing is, if you have a craft like guitar playing or vocals, work your ass on it, because that is going to enable you to make a living from other things. Like, for example, I do a lot of workshops, I teach, I do sessions for films or stuff, and that's only because I've worked in this craft, and I can. So in that way, you can kind of make a living, create a lot of streams of revenue from other things than just performing. So it's really good, because people in a place like London appreciate that, and you can. It's a good way to survive while doing music.
Yeah.
Just kind of, you just have to use your craft for other things as well.
Yeah.
So that's a good kind of functional advice.
Awesome.
And get a YouTube channel.
You've got to know how to market
That's really
yourself.
important.
George is great at that, like the marketing side.
Nice.
Stuff that I...
It's good to one of you. That's all you need.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, guys, this is Peppermint Duo, and we've had an awesome little chat here, and we're in fact going to get them to play a song or two in a minute. And I'm Nate Maingard, your host, and I hope that you're enjoying Elexu Live Lounge. We will be back in a couple of weeks. And thank you, Peppermint Duo, for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Look forward to
Thank
hearing
you.
your music. Yeah.
Cheers.
Check them out, Peppermint Duo, on all the online stuff.